Hey guys, it's Corey again. Today we're taking a look at the class appointment confirmation that I had before, and I did a video on it. Now, I had a trigger in here. What I was doing was a trigger for every single one of the classes. So, which would make sense if if you had a bunch of individual classes, you wanted some to be in it, some not. But this, I was able to actually um, do them all at once. So let me show you what I was looking at here. So appointments, I was looking at appointment status. I tried customer booked appointment. It didn't really do what I wanted it to do, and I don't know why, but I went in here into this particular one and I said, okay, event type was normal. I added a couple of filters and it said that appointment status was confirmed. So when someone actually what triggers it really is it's a normal event, gets confirmed, and then in calendar, and I specifically picked one of these calendars, one of these three calendars here. So I was adding a third one, and I was just going to add another trigger up there, one per class. But what I found was that you could actually speed this whole thing up. Actually, you make it not speed it up, but rather if we do, oh, it won't do it now because it's already there. So I was doing a specific calendar. So let's just say we picked this Basics 1 class. This is what I was using to trigger it before. And then every time I added a new class, it would be on the list because it's based on the calendar name. And I would say, okay, if they book on this calendar, the calendar. So you could do separate sequences per calendar if you wanted to, but I really want it to be the same basic idea on all the calendars so that we get a notice, they get an email, it tells them about the class, what the time is on the class. So one of the things that you really need to do is you want to personalize it with their name. You want to put the calendar name in here, which is really important. And then I put calendar name again, which really titles the class. It gives me the appointment start date, or the appointment date, the appointment start time, end time, and then any notes that I have on it, which might be, I think, from the individual. Honestly, I think they put their thing on there, and then we put the address. So by doing this, by using these variables like the Google add to calendar, the iCal/Outlook add to calendar, etc., it makes it so that it works for every single one of the calendars. So really simplifies it, really makes it so that your maintenance is minimal and accurate. So every class runs through this now. What I did, the big difference here was the trigger, event type, and I used a calendar group. So I just, this says Fusions classes. So I grouped it together. Each one of those calendars is in this Fusions classes group. So as soon as somebody books in one of those things, that triggers it and it passes through and allows that person to be in there for that specific class and that specific appointment. So if they were to sign up for the same class twice in one day, I believe it would allow them to be in there. It definitely allows them to be in multiple classes simultaneously. So their name will appear in this path multiple times. I'll show you where I did that. So I just changed it to in calendar group and made a group. Once I did that, now any new class that I add that's in that calendar group will automatically get it, new enrollees will end up in this flow. And I had my name in there more than one time. So what it did was my name stopped here. It had my name. When I inspected it, when I looked at you can see my name in here. When I put my name in here, I had one thing where I was 24 hours before the appointment. Oh, it doesn't show the execution log exactly the way that I wanted it to. So yeah, remove me. Anyhow, I had it. I'd have to do some digging, but I had my name sitting right here, waiting for 24 hours before the appointment on one, and another class I made up for the next day, which is tomorrow. I just made that up, and so it skipped through these. It hit this, and it skipped this pause jumped right to this one. So it didn't send the 24-hour reminder. It just skips from here right down to this one because we're less than 24 hours and my name was sitting right there. Here for one class and here for another one. The other class was in a month. So the one that's just tomorrow, I'm at the 1 hour reminder email waiting there. So anyhow, the upshot is trigger off the calendar group exactly the same way you would for a particular calendar, but the whole group, then anytime you add a class into that group now or something into that group, it's going to get this flow. And using these variables makes it just perfect for maintenance. You have to maintain it in one place. They're all the same. It's always nice and clean. And the reason I bring these up, the reason I'm doing these is I've seen a lot of people take these things and duplicate them out, do lots of extra work. They've got a flow for one class, a flow for the next class, a flow for the et cetera. This is all class appointment confirmation and reminder. So it's any class that they sign up for. And right here, if you set this, allow reentry. Notice this says allows contacts to reenter once it has left this workflow. So it's saying we can use it multiple times, but true reentry means that I can enter it again while you're still in it. So if the contact attempts to reenter while it's still enrolled in this workflow, it gets skipped. But there's this little caveat. Also, this workflow has an appointment or invoice-based trigger, which we're doing appointment-based. It will allow contacts to reenter even if the allow reentry setting is disabled. So I guess we wouldn't even have to necessarily check that because it says even if it were allow reentry setting is disabled. So they are aware of the appointment situation, the appointment logic that you would need to do that with. So very, very cool. It does allow you to have your name, one person in for multiple situations, multiple cases, waiting for different things. You could do this for appointments on a chiropractor that has a bunch of appointments and you want them to get notices for each one of them 24 hours if they've got appointments at different times, and you want 24-hour notice, 1 hour notice. So you could have someone in there just a ton of times in those particular cases. So really, really cool. And I think it's important to, get your code working in a way that is not just that it works one time or works in most cases. You want it to work all the time, and you want it to be nice and clean and nice and modularized. So right here, I've got 3 different class sequences that can fire through this one, and they're all doing exactly the same thing. They're all triggered off of being added to that group. Anyway, I hope that helps, and good luck in building.